Hi, it's Ashley, and we are live on Western Fashion Behind the Scenes with a very special guest. Shantelle Girard is a powerhouse entrepreneur. And folks, if you have not figured out who she is, she's the founder of Rancher Hat Bar and she's turning it into an empire. Welcome, Shantelle.
Hi, I'm so excited to be a part of this. It's gonna be so fun.
I am excited. I need to know a little bit more about Rancher Hat Bar.
Yeah, so I'll get started how we started Rancher and go from there. So I was making my own custom hats for years. And then I decided instead of just making these hats like on my kitchen table and putting them in a box and shipping them out, I
When you
wanted
say years, what year did you start? Just
was it like 21, 22, like years, and then started in January of 2023, Rancher Hat Bar. That's when I had the idea to turn it into a trailer and go all around because I was giving these people hats and it was in a box. I open it like, that's cool, but how can I elevate it and make it even cooler? So we had a vintage camper trailer and I was like, I'm going to turn this into a traveling hat bar where I give people that experience. You walk up to the trailer, you hear the like loud country music. It's a party. It's a vibe. We have neon lights. You get to choose all your hats, all your accessories. And that's what we did. And it just took off from there. Like our first one that we ever did, I had a huge line wrapped around for 3 hours, sold out completely. And I was like, okay, like that was just a fluke. I'm sure like next one won't be like that. And then the next one, same thing. And it was just like this trickle effect. It was crazy. And I was like, okay, I think I have something. I'm going to open my first store. So we opened our first store in Folsom, California, and then our second in Scottsdale. And then it's just been trickling from there. We have 7 locations now. It's been crazy.
7 locations. Let's unpack this. This is amazing. You're your own hat empire.
I know we are. Take over the world. So you're thinking for everywhere.
I am so excited about this. Okay. So you were making custom hats just out of your house
Yeah.
for a long time. You loved hats. Did you grow up in the Western industry? Tell me a little bit about growing up.
So very west of my like half of my family is very country, like out in the middle of nowhere, hunting, all that fun stuff. And then the other half of my family is from Scottsdale, very different. So I grew up like in the middle of both worlds. So I was like, okay, how can I like merge this? So I bring the fashion side to the Western Empire and still respecting its roots. I think that's what Rancher is really about. Is we're not trying to make a gaudy, over the top, crazy hat. We want to elevate like the more fashion side, but still respect it from its roots.
Yeah, I like to say elevate your wardrobe, transform your life, welcome
Yeah.
to the Western world. And so
Yeah.
that fits right in my my personal motto, right? So now you're really talking to me, which means you're talking to a lot of America and
Mhm.
the rest of the world. I want to tell the audience, I went to Vegas this year at the National Finals Rodeo, like I do every year, 20 years in a row. I got invited to a party and I was like, okay, this is really interesting. It said Rancher Hat Bar and American Bonfire are inviting you to a special event. And I was like, this is fantastic. I went, and not only did I get a camel hat, but I got a red hat. And these people took care of me like no one did. So tell us, have you been global yet?
We have, yeah. So we've sent hats to the UK, we've sold hats to Australia, all over, like Mexico, crazy places. Like it's crazy when you see like the little dots light up on the screen.
What's been really hard about it?
I think expansion is wild. It's so amazing. And I believe that if you sit still, you're going to sink. So I'm all about expansion, but I do think that it comes with its trials for sure. Every state's different. Every state has its own laws, its own rules. That's a whole thing.
It's a
Yes.
whole thing. So you must have a division taking care of this, or are you taking care of all of it?
I am very hands-on involved. So I am like 24/7 rancher, which is a good thing and a bad thing. I need a break sometime. I'm going on vacation soon.
Are you going? Where are you going?
I don't know. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna run away, I think. We're gonna see.
Of course, you're gonna talk about Rancher Hat Bar when you get there. Like, I can get away from boots, please. I'm,
Literally.
like, in the
Yeah.
grocery store line, supposed to not be doing anything, talking about cowboy boots to people every 4 minutes because
I know.
it's just who
Same
you are.
about cowboy hats with everyone. Have you ever had a hat? Come to Rancher. Talking about, oh, I love that hat. Where'd you get that? It's never ending. It's everywhere.
Okay, so speaking of, how did you get your first cowgirl hat? Tell me a little bit about your hat journey.
Um, long time ago. I don't remember. Long time ago. Like I was probably 8 or 9. I have no idea. That's a long journey.
Let's go, like, back into the memory box. What do you remember about your first cowgirl memories? Do you remember having a hat and boots?
Yes,
Were you? What were you doing?
I was just like hanging out with my family and like out in that like their houses. They had tons of property. You have to have boots because if you're walking around in sandals, you're gonna get eaten alive by something. So I think I was young. Like so the backstory of my family out in New Mexico. They are old turquoise miners and sellers, and they make their own jewelry, and they go out and they travel the world and they sell it. I think my earliest memories is being out on their property. We would hunt in the yard for little turquoise scraps and stuff like that. I think that's my first real cowgirl memory and the whole thing. Yeah.
Okay, and
Yeah.
your boots were
Well,
what color?
probably brown.
Yeah, okay, and you wore them forever, and then do you remember when you became a teenager and got cowboy boots and a hat, or were you not a cowgirl as a teenager?
Yeah. Country Thunder. That's a huge thing out here. Yeah. Because I know there's some like out on the East Coast somewhere, right?
Yeah, there's hundreds of music festivals that, like, people drive millions of miles to get to. I have friends that go from Denver to, like, everywhere in the world. So, okay, so Country Thunder, how old were you?
I was probably like 18 and I had to go and get like this brand new pair of area boots. I remember like I needed them because I needed like a fresh pair of boots, needed to look so good. Little Daisy Dukes, cropped tank, that the thing back then.
For me.
I,
Still the thing now at Country Thunder, not gonna lie to you.
yeah, like it's still the thing. I think like girls would walk around in, like bikinis and stuff too. I'm sure that's still a thing, but I don't go anymore. I think I'm too old for that one. I like a nice VIP lounge. I need my own like VIP area. But so yeah, I had to get a whole new fit for that. I remember, and I think I had just a basic straw hat. And then think that kind of started my journey. I'm like, this is boring. So I'd add the crazy belts. I'd add the crazy little accessories just to make my outfits pop. We used to make our own t-shirts, like stuff like that. And then that kind of just transpired. Had my first hat that I thought was a little too boring and I wanted to make it how I wanted. So that's the journey and how it started.
It's really wild. So how old can I ask you how old are you now?
34.
34, and you've been doing it for how long?
So probably 4 or 5 years now.
Okay, I love this. And where do you see yourself 5 years from now?
5 years from now, I see tons of locations. I want to see rancher everywhere. One, you think of a cowboy hat like a customization process. I want you to think of rancher hat bar. So our goal is to go everywhere and be everywhere. We want to take this experience that we've grown to all over the nation. I think it'd be super cool to go internationally one day. Like hopefully in 5 years, we maybe have our first international store. I think that would be so cool.
That would be amazing. Where would you want to be located first internationally?
You know, I think Canada.
Okay.
So many Canadians, the Calgary Rodeo. I think that would be really cool. It's close. It's not like crazy far. So I feel like we could, like, the whole team could go and see the store. It'd be so fun.
Yes, straight across the other side of the country, right up from Scottsdale. It's perfect. I'm from Idaho, so
Okay.
I'm almost from Canada, right? On some level, we touch Canada, but like I live in the very southeastern corner by Utah, so I'm close to you. Scottsdale's not too far away from Vegas either. Um,
Yes.
I will love to come and see you, and we'll chat about that for sure. What would you say your superpower is?
My superpower is, I don't even know. That's such a hard question.
What are you looking at?
Developing a brand.
Developing a brand.
This isn't my first company. I've done it before. We were a mobile bar business that was super popular and took off. We sold that company once Rancher was full steam because we couldn't do everything at once. And then we just created this brand of Rancher and it's nationally recognized. People know about it. I think it's so cool. It's not just me though. I do have an amazing team behind me. But I think that's it, like developing and building a brand that I work so hard for. And the reason why it is what it is because I put everything into it and it's 24/7. I wake up at 3 in the morning and start doing weird things on my phone. So I'm like, think,
I hear you. Okay, so talk to me a little bit about your strategy behind your locations at this point. How have you thought about it, and where do you see yourself next? Can you tell us?
yeah. So the first one in Folsom was just happenstance, right? We were living up there. My husband had to live up there for his job. He's from there. So I was like, I'm going to open my first store here in Folsom. It took off. It's a very small country town. So cute. If you haven't been there, I suggest everyone going to Folsom. It's the best. And then I'm from Scottsdale. So I was like, I'm going to go to Scottsdale. It's the westmost western town. That's what the city slogan is. It used to be very western. Now it's very modern. But I was like, this is going to be a huge hit there. There's so many bachelorette parties. There's so many people who love the Western lifestyle. So I knew it'd be a big hit, and it was. It's so popular that we had to get a second location in Old Town, Scottsdale. So we have two locations in Old Town, Scottsdale, like 5 minutes from each other, like literally a 5 minute walk, and you can drive there in 2 minutes. So that way, when the main store is so overwhelmingly busy, you can just go down to the next one. We call it like our overflow store. So we have that. And then we have Denver, Colorado, which we love. It's so cute down there. And then we have Waco, Texas, which I'm super pumped about. Love Waco, Magnolia, all the fun stuff to do out there. And I think there needs to be something cool down there. So I'm really excited for Rancher Hot Bar to go to Waco. And then we have Dallas, Texas, of course. Makes sense. And then we're going to Nashville.
When do you open Nashville?
We opened Nashville, I think, end of February. Don't
Gosh.
permits and all that. They're wild. We're starting to figure that out. So hopefully,
On Broadway?
no, it's going to be on 12 South.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not super familiar down there, but it's super cute. It's this new development. It's going to be like the new hangout spot. There's tons of like cool brands going in there. So it's going to be really fun.
Cool. This
Yeah.
is exciting. Okay. So Nashville in 2025.
Yeah.
And then what's your big, hairy, audacious goal? Like the thing that you're like, oh my gosh, if this happened.
There's so many on the horizon. I have so many ideas. I want to expand to at least 15 by the end of 2025. So just hang on. You'll see.
Okay. I love this. This is what's really interesting about that people that are women, especially that are driven and they want to help other women succeed. It sounds like you created a really interesting team. Talk to me about your team and how it got created and how you feel about teamwork and leadership.
I think I wouldn't be anywhere without my team. I think that they're what helps build my business, honestly. We have a staff of 50.
50?
50. Yeah.
Holy shenanigans on payroll?
Yes.
Holy sheesh kebabber girl.
Okay. Amount, but we have over 50 girls. So in the Old Town alone, we have 20 that are working. Saturday, there's 13 people on at a time. It's crazy. Sometimes not, but we try our best to totally stock the store so that everyone can be helped and there's not 5 hour wait times. Like it can happen. And we have a big office team, like in upper management. So we have probably 12 girls that do everything behind the scenes. And that's where everything happens. It's a lot. So everything that you see with Rancher, there's a whole team behind it that built that and has been working really hard on it.
So do you have like daily meetings with this team? Monthly meetings with this team? How does it look for you?
And we're there every single day. So we're pretty much, we call it our corporate office, but it's not. It's a small office with 10 girls in there, but it is. We're out there every day and we're just working away and getting so much done. We have a director of operations. My husband and I are there every day. We have social media girls. We have marketing. We have warehouse. We have events team. We have so much.
You are doing it, which is exciting and a lot. Who do you love? Do you love Sarah Blakely? Let's talk about people that you admire and love in the world.
There's so many. I am very influenced by female entrepreneurs. I love watching their stories, hearing things about them. I just watched a YouTube video recently about Kimes Ranch and how they got started. Thought that was so inspirational because their first pair of jeans like didn't work out or something. So they just kept going and going. Sometimes as an entrepreneur, you hit hard stops. Dallas, for example, it's really hard to open. So many permits. It's just inspiring to see other entrepreneurs go through things like that. It motivates you. You're like, okay, let's just keep going. No big deal. Let's keep going.
Yeah, the problems only get different problems when you get more money. There's always problems. It's just
New problems. I'm like, oh, okay, like I need another store. That was a problem. And then I get this new store. I'm like, okay, I need 10 permits. That's a problem.
this is a problem. This is a challenge. Oh my gosh. Okay, tell me about growing up. Did your parents give you this hard work ethic, or how did you get this?
I think so. Yeah. I think I come from a family of entrepreneurs. Like I was mentioning earlier, one side of my grandparents are really hardworking. They're entrepreneurs. They would travel around and make their money their own way. And then I come from a grandma on the other side who opened the first skateboard shop. And she's a female doing that. So she's breaking grounds and doing something in a male dominated industry and being a very successful leader. And I think I'm doing the same thing. I'm a female entrepreneur breaking into a very male dominated industry. Like you don't see very many like female Western business owners. There are some out there, so we're working really hard to build this epic brand. All of our girls that work for us, I think pretty much all girls. My husband, poor guy, but he's surviving.
Hey, you know what? That's part of, I think, what I've moved into. Part of what I feel like really works now is to find people who match your energy, that have that ethic and that drive and that competitiveness and that fun, exciting. This is my way of talking to people and allowing other women to see that if you have that inside of you, reach for those people, go towards those people, go to the hat bar, get a hat, meet Chantel, meet these people in person and understand who they are and how you can be a part of their life and how you can support them because there's plenty of, and you call it male dominated, there's plenty of male owned companies and there's plenty of ways to support the things that have already gone on. And those are great. I think the rising tide lifts all the boats. I want everyone to succeed. And I do this podcast specifically so that women like you can be recognized in the spaces that they need to be. There's millions of women all over the world that will hear this podcast and say, if she can do it, I could do it. I didn't come from that though. So if I didn't come from that background, what would your advice to me be?
I think go for it. I think you can't do anything half-ass. I think that you have to go 100% in for actually everything you do. So I think go for it with everything. I think if you have an idea, you should run with it and you should go for it. I think you should never look back.
I love this. And if it burns in your heart at night and you can't sleep, go for it. If it's driving you crazy, do that thing.
Yes, 100%. If it's something you can't stop thinking about, it's meant to be.
I love this.
Yeah.
Are you 2025? What are your goals in 2025 for your life and for the Ranger hat bar?
For my life, I think just keep doing what I'm doing. I think it makes me so happy. I do want to maybe hang out with my husband and go on a vacation once in a while. So we never do that. So that's a good goal to do. But I think just expand Rancher and stay on the trajectory that we're going. So I think it's really cool to see and just take that Rancher experience to more places. I want to build the brand even more and do even cooler stuff. Like we just launched our Bolo bar. So we're the first ever to do a Bolo bar, which is so cool. We're so pumped about it. So you get to customize everything in the Bolo from like the string down to the end caps. It is so cool. So just keep expanding the brand and doing really cool things. Bring more products in that are super exciting to our customers. My favorite thing about Rancher is my repeat customers. So my goal is to always have something cool and new and exciting for them.
I love that. And tell me, is your business built on repeat customers? Are you having much success with repeat customers?
It's really 50-50. Honestly, we're in some very touristy towns, so some come and go, but then some still follow us on Instagram and send us DMs of their hat at a country music concert or like on an airplane being silly. We love that kind of stuff. A lot are repeat customers that come in. So one came in and got a bolo tie, but already has a hat with us. One got a new hat, and like when the new style comes out, maybe like a hot pink or like a cool new brown that they need, they come in and they grab it.
Yeah.
So it's really cool to see. It's cool to see both. Think
Yeah. Well, I'd love to check out the Bolo Bar in Scottsdale. I think this is a really fun idea.
every location. So maybe you'll see us up in Idaho soon. So maybe we'll come get a bolo tie by you.
That would be amazing. I didn't be really good for you guys. Sun Valley, anywhere. There's so much opportunity that's untapped in a lot of these places and towns.
Oh,
Yeah, everyone wants a hat. Speaking of everyone wants a hat, we should touch on this a little bit. So there's a lot of controversy around that idea, right? That cowboys and cowgirls are the new epicenter of advertising, marketing. Everything is cowboy. Tell me about how you feel about that and how do new people that want to get into this figure it out? How do people that are in it respond to it? Walk me through your feelings around all this.
I think the new like cowboy craze is, I think it's really good for everyone in the Western industry. I think there's definitely mixed reviews of that. But there's like some old timers that have been doing this for so long and didn't get the traffic, didn't get like the people coming in or people noticing them. And now they are because so like Bella Hadid's cutting horses, right? You have Louis Vuitton doing cowboy boots. I think that there definitely is mix. I know some people don't like that. I've definitely heard that. But I think that it is really cool to shed light and give Western the attention that it deserves because it's such a badass, cool industry. And we need that. And it's bringing attention to people who need it. And new flourishing brands, of course, like mine, I'm really succeeding because of this Western craze. But also, I think, like I said, give the old timers and bring all these like old businesses new light and attention. I think it's super cool. I've heard of a lot of businesses doing well because of everything going on.
I agree. I think that there is a shortage of people who have the work ethic to be able to take these older businesses over. There's thousands of older businesses that they don't have a succession plan, right? And they don't know. And now they've got a lot of attention from either social media or however it works, and helping them and figuring that out. That's something we do every day around here too, try to figure out what does it look like in the future. So do you have what does your legacy look like? You want to have Rancher Hat Bar forever, and you want to have those stores forever, and you want to be this old lady with the hats?
I do. I think our legacy will just really emphasize our experience that we give people. So I want people to remember that, and I want that to be forever, like a girl's trip. Remember that trip down the road in 10 years, and like how fun was that to go to that like hat place where we made those custom hats and we're listening to that crazy music and being silly and went out to the bar after. I want that to be our legacy to where people remember us 10, 20 years down the road. I think that would be really cool.
Aw, I love this. This is a really good goal, and I feel like that's where you're at right now. You're headed right towards that. You are putting on fabulous things. Are we gonna see you at NFR next year?
Yeah. Yes. You will definitely see us one way or another. We will be there again. That was so fun. We loved NFR. We loved meeting everybody and seeing old friends. It was really cool.
Did you have a place there where you could buy hats from you or no?
We did a couple pop-ups in a couple different areas, and then we did a ton of corporate events. So that was like the main reason we went out there because we got booked for a bunch of corporate events. And then we're like, okay, let's have fun with this. Let's do a couple pop-ups. Let's do like a couple like parties. So we ended up having like our big party and doing pop-ups. It was really cool.
Yeah, so would you advise people that were thinking about doing something like that if they have different brands? Like, there's a lot of companies that are smaller that are wondering, "Should I go there? Should I go to the NFR? Is it worth it?"
I think so. I think Cowboy Christmas was like so fun. It's an abundance of brands, of course, but I think there's room for everyone there. I think there's so much going on. There's so much traffic and people walking around just trying to have fun. And then I genuinely believe that any promotion is good promotion. So even if you go somewhere and you don't sell out, at least people saw your brand and you spoke to somebody. I think that's really important. We do so many pop-ups. Even though we have a ton of stores, we're still doing pop-ups everywhere.
Yeah, how many would you say you're doing a month?
Probably like in Scottsdale alone, I would say like 10 a month.
It's a lot.
Yeah, I know. We're everywhere. But I think to do is to get people to build that brand recognition. The more you're out there, the more they see you, the more they remember you. It clicks. And then they come and see you in your store if they didn't make a hat with you there, or just creating relationships, meeting people. So that's really important, I think.
Yeah, I think that's probably 50% of the business that people don't give enough attention to.
I agree. I agree. Yes.
It's so interesting. This has been really fun to have you on. Do you have kids? I have to ask because people wanna know.
No, we don't have kids. We're a baby, and I could not imagine that right now.
That's okay, yeah, I think that's a good thing. I don't have children, like, this is my baby, it's okay. Oh,
We just gotta work and keep going. We have a dog. We just got a cute little puppy. He's our rancher mascot, but he is a ton of work.
oh my gosh, you're like, "Whoa, this is good birth control." What?
Yeah.
What dog is it?
He is like a Great Pyrenees mix. We're not sure. We love Great Pyrenees. And
That's huge. That's 3 kids.
I know our last one we just lost, he was the best boy on earth, but he was like 170 pounds.
Oh my
Walk around rancher. He was so slow and cute.
oh,
He's a puppy, so he's just wild, run circles around us.
that's a lot.
Parenting not us, but he's having fun.
Well, Chantel, it's been so fun to have you on the podcast today.
Thank you. I had a blast.
Yeah. Is there anything you want to tell people before you leave? I really like your advice. You gave some really solid advice in here, and I'm going to recap that at the end. And then, like, any promotion is good promotion. This is a good way to look at it. You get up in the morning and you get your stuff done. That's how people get things done. They actually care a lot about the other people that are around them, and it shows that you care. So I am really excited to listen to this again. Is there anything you want to tell everyone?
I don't know, just watch out for Rancher. Follow us on Instagram to see all the cool stuff that's going on. If you're not local to one of our stores, we have virtual hat appointments. And then we also have a revolutionary software. It's like the Nike shoe builder. If you remember that, you can go on into our website and you can build your own custom hat. Like literally click and choose the bands, click and choose branding. It's super cool. So if you're not local, go check it out.
Did you develop this software?
I didn't. I had a developer.
Wait, so but you were like, I need this, and this is what we're going to do.
Yes. Well,
Amazing.
yeah, because we're like, how cool would it be for someone to like click and make their own hat online? Virtuals are amazing, but it does take some time for people to get on. You spend 30 minutes on the phone with us. It's so fun. They love them. But I'm like, okay, what about the people like scrolling on their phone late at night trying to go to sleep? You can build your hat right there. So
This is incredible.
yeah,
How long has you had this feature?
we launched it in June. We've had it for just a few months. It's a blast. And you can do it for trucker hats too. We have trucker hats and we're gonna have bolo ties on there soon. So if you're not local, you get to come and do everything that you can do at Rancher in store.
Oh my gosh, this is exciting. Okay, so tell us where we can find you one more time. Give us all the websites and all the info.
Okay. So rancherhatbar.com. We also have a sister company, Rancher Co. for clothing. So you can go to either one of those websites, Rancher Co. or rancherhatbar.com, and make your own personal hat. And then if you want to book a virtual hat appointment, you can DM us on Instagram or book online, and then Rancher Hat Bar on Instagram. Follow us.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yay. Okay, thank you
Um,
so much for being on today, Chantel.
Thank you. I had a blast. Have a great day.
This is Ashley at Western Fashion Behind the Scenes, and today we had Shantelle Girard on. She is the founder of Rancher Hat Bar, and I cannot wait for you to listen to this episode again. Just remember, it's always a good time to wear cowboy boots.